Okay, short, quick, and to the point. The old coot here, coming back at you with another exciting video. This is the first quote-unquote meal that I'm having in the day. I'm doing intermittent fasting, which means basically I'm only eating within a 6-hour time frame. So I get 18 hours of fasting going, right? Theoretically, whatever it is. But the reason why that helps is because the autophagy kicks in, right? My body has a chance to recycle the things that it's not using or that are underperforming, and basically turn those raw materials into the stuff that it is going to use. So that's the reason why I do the intermittent fasting. If you watch the previous videos that I've done in May, the tail end of May, I was 334 pounds. We're now on the tail end of September and I'm down to 326-ish. I'm calling that a 8-pound weight loss within 4 months. So I'm basically losing about a half a pound per week, right? Is that what the math comes out to? Yeah, something like that. So the goal really is to try to get down to a decent weight below 200. If I can get below 200, I would be so happy. And I know that I've been building muscle over the last, decade that I've been working out, like seriously focused, attentive. It's tough. I know it's tough. A lot of you watching this video, you're like, what helps? What works? What are these little secrets that just give you like a little bit of an extra edge to lose weight? I can only share with you my story, what I went through. If you gain some knowledge from that, great. But either way, you really should go to your doctor. Go to your doctor and talk about what works best for you. In my specific case, I talked to my doctor and I said, hey, I want to do this as natural as possible. I don't want to take Zeptide or Ozempic or whatever those other, GLP-1 things are, or whatever the heck it is. I didn't want to do any of that stuff. I wanted to try to do this as natural as I could, because I didn't gain more than 180 pounds of body fat overnight over the last, 20 years. I'm not going to lose it overnight either. So I figured, half a pound per week is actually pretty good. Even a quarter of a pound per week is pretty good to just be consistent. Consistency, it's losing the weight, losing the weight, losing the weight. Yes, I have cheat meals. Yes, I have Reese's peanut butter cups and M&Ms and Hershey's chocolate and ice cream and pizza and a whole bunch of other stuff I'm not supposed to be having once in a while. Cheat days, sometimes a cheat weekend. But, I'm trying to control all that. And this is part of that process. So what do I do? Quickly to summarize is I wake up first thing in the morning, go for a walk, right? Go to the bathroom or whatever, go for a walk, hydrate as well. Try to drink, at least like a liter of water within the first hour of waking up with just a little pinch of Himalayan salt. Sometimes what I'll do is I'll wake up, go for like a 20-minute, like just a stroll. I'm not really running or jogging or walking briskly. It's just to get out and get moving and get some sunlight, right? The whole Huberman thing. If you watch Andrew Huberman, I highly encourage you to watch his channel. If you can watch his direct channel, even better. Not the spin-offs, but anyways. So then what I'll do is on a workout day, what I'll do is I'll have a morning energy drink, which I've already done videos about. And basically what that is it's matcha green tea, it's black tea, it's a dandelion root, right? To try to help to flush out some of the impurities that are in the body. It also helps to detox the liver. But the two teas, the matcha green tea and the Assam Black Tea, are basically there to get the caffeine in, get the energy going, get everything moving. And then the last two ingredients, I think I put, Moringa, a little bit of Moringa in there, which is energy. It's also a superfood. Doesn't really spike the blood sugar too much, which is kind of nice. And then lemon. Very important to get lemon. And what I do is I usually cut a lemon in half, and then I put half that lemon in the blender, the smoothie blender. Everything, skin, rind, peel, essential oil, all that stuff, the lemon juice itself. And basically what that does is that gives me the energy to go continue with the rest of the day. So if I'm working out, great. If I'm not working out, I still have the energy in the morning. Then what I do is, because I'm doing the intermittent fasting thing, right? That energy drink doesn't really spike my sugar level too much, hardly any if all. But what I do is the first meal of the day is usually around like 12 noon. And what I'll do is I'll give myself 6 hours to eat, right? So usually it's 3 meals about every 2 hours. If I can squeeze in 4 meals, right, with like a smoothie somewhere in the middle, even better. So it's like every 1.5 hour, maybe 2 hours, hour later, I might have a smoothie, that kind of vibe. But my last meal is usually at 6 o'clock. And then by 9 or 10 o'clock, I'm in bed. I get a full 8 hours of sleep, and we go through the cycle all over again. So this is the first meal. We've gotten to this point. Fast forward to the video if you want to check this out. Only this. So what's in here? There's 4 hard-boiled eggs, right? I try to go for a medium boil, but sometimes it doesn't come out that way. So 4 hard-boiled eggs. I've got some horseradish on each like little half of the egg. Then I've got about a quarter of a cup of beans, and I've got a quarter of a cup of like guacamole, if that's what you want to call it, avocado. But what am I doing here? What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get protein from the eggs, right? And also protein from the beans a little bit. I'm trying to get fiber from the guacamole, fiber from the beans, right? Which is going to be good for the gut bacteria. Protein obviously is important. I think a lot of people aren't getting the amount of protein that they should or need to get, but protein's important. Then what I'm getting is I'm getting good fats from the avocado, right? From the guacamole or whatever. And then the spicy kick there, the horseradish, is just to kind of keep that metabolism going, just to like, there's numerous research studies that basically say that combination of protein, good fats, and complex carbs, right? The beans or the fiber is really like the best thing that at least I can do for my body. First meal, first true meal of the day. So I'm showing you what works for me. You're going to have to do your own due diligence. If this video helps you to make a more informed decision, helps you to please go to your doctor, but go to your doctor, talk about what's going to work best for you. God bless you. If taking Ozempic or Zepbound is what you need for you to lose weight, so be it. As long as you're doing it under doctor supervision, you kind of get a sense of what I'm trying to get at. In my case, my specific situation, this is what works for me as the first meal. This is part of, so there's a huge list of things that helped me to lose 8 pounds in 4 months, right? From the end of May to the end of September. This is just a piece, a little sliver, a slice of my daily routine, what I've been doing to lose that weight. So like I said, some things work for some people, some things don't work for people. So that's why, like I said, if this helps to make you a more informed decision about what could potentially work for you with the supervision of your doctor, with consulting your doctor, your healthcare provider, more power to us all. More power to you, more power to us all. But anyways, with that being said, I just wanted to share a little bit of what my morning routine is like. Morning routine, I should say, like midday routine. But this is basically it. So 4 hard-boiled eggs, about a quarter of a cup, half a cup of like beans. What type of beans? Doesn't really matter. Sometimes I use kidney, sometimes I use black beans, sometimes I use pinto. Whatever's on sale, whatever I could buy, rehydrate. Oh, and by the way, I do rehydrate my own beans personally. I try to stay away from the stuff in the cans, even if it is organic, even if it says it's GMO, blah, 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 whatever. I just try to do it myself. Rehydrate the beans, boil them for about 10 minutes. Usually they come out cooked and mushy, and that's how I like them, and that's it. Guacamole, basically avocado, onion. I made this myself. Avocados are really expensive right now. $2 each, like for the most part. Occasionally you can find them for like, buy 5, they're $1 each. Sometimes the sales, the Friday deals, do your shopping. The eggs, Costco, I buy in bulk. I get I think it's 5 dozen for like $18 or less than 20, something like that. Horseradish is Bubbies. I think it's called Bubbies, but I buy in bulk. I try to save. That usually helps me out. With that being said, I'm the Old Coot. There are some links down below in the description, also in the comment section, and I'll catch you all in the next exciting video.